Hey guys, I know I look a hot mess, but I've got some things that I wanted to come on and bring to light for you guys of what's going on. This is the third update video, and I wanted to share this video before I forget all the things and the timeline with y'all. You'll be seeing, this is probably going to be 3 update videos in a row this week. The other 2 videos that you'll be seeing before this video on my teeth and like just my future goals were filmed about a week ago. It is now a week later, or about a week later. So just know when I made those 2 update videos, none of this was brought to light yet, or most of it. So let's go ahead and jump in. I know that intro was not very cheery, or right now it isn't even than my normal videos, but this video is not going to be a cheery video. So if you can't handle dying, and not me, dying and just things in life that are going on, or you feel like you're going to be in a place to judge or like feel bad about yourself or something going on in your situation, I suggest you don't watch it. So if you watched my shorts video, you saw Friday I was getting ready, doing my hair and things, and that video I was getting ready to go on a date with my boyfriend. So that happened. Went on the date, everything was fine. He stayed the night, I was kid-free all weekend, and mind you, it is Tuesday now, June 4th. He was here Saturday and stayed the night. We went to the lake and just kind of chilled out for a few hours, and we watched some movies, and everything was going fine. And then my power went out, so he ended up going home. And right after that, I got a call from my mom. And I've been knowing this was coming. My grandma has had a lot of memory loss in the last 2 years. Some days she can remember my name. Some days she calls me Amy, which is my mom's name. We talk on the phone every single day. And I got a call Saturday evening after I lost my power that she was finally diagnosed with dementia. I knew it was coming. I've been knowing for about 2 years that she had it. She was just going undiagnosed at the time until we could get everything sorted out. But it's her being diagnosed now. Without her being diagnosed, it was like I could accept it because there was not really a timeline on it, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's just age, you know what I mean? So once she got the diagnosis, my grandmother is like my mom. I have a mom, but my grandmother raised me a lot during my life. My mom, she's a good mom. I was always closer with my grandmother. My mom was a single mom for a little while when I was really little, so my grandmother raised me. And then just kind of back and forth through the years, I was mostly with her, especially during the summertime and like school breaks, like for Christmas and Thanksgiving and things like that. So I think really having this diagnosis now, I could accept it without the diagnosis, because I think it boils down to, well, we didn't know that really was what it was. We know that it's genetic, and all the women in the family get it. It's happened generation over generation. My mom will get it one day, then I'll get it, and it'll keep passing down. It hasn't skipped a generation in 10 years. But it was like I was sort of in a denial when we started noticing it at first, and now that we have, it's just having that label that's so scary. Since I found out Saturday, I haven't been able to call her every day. I can't call her without breaking down. I can't go in the car and listen to certain music that I used to love to listen to without hearing certain words or sentences in the songs. that make me break down. It's been rough. Don't know how I'm gonna handle this. I've not been handling it well, which I'll get to in just a minute. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. She's my best friend. I do have a best friend, but my grandmother is also my best friend. Like I said, just like my mom. And so I don't know if it's my brain just telling me not to call every day, because I have to get used to the fact that soon I won't be able to do that anymore. I won't be able to hear her voice. I won't be able to see her. And I'm so mad. I'm just so mad at everybody. I'm mad at God. I'm mad at my mom because she's done things over the years which I'm not going to bring up. But I'm just so mad at everybody. And I don't know how to get rid of it. And then now having to figure out, when do I tell my kids? How do I do this? You know, my kids are very close with my grandparents. I'm mentally going through it now that there's a diagnosis. My kids don't understand, especially Mason. Cooper would understand dying, but he doesn't understand why. And I think he understands dying. He knows the word. He knows what it means. But there's also that thought in my mind that I don't want to tell him too early, because it's hard on all of us. My aunt is flying in from Tennessee next week, so we're going to be going to her house and probably staying for a few days at my grandma's. So it's not been an easy week, and I've made some, I don't know if you'd call them mistakes, because I don't feel like they're really mistakes. This week, after getting that news, I was kid-free, and I lost it. And I just, like I said, I'm so mad at everybody. Like, I was in the car earlier, and I was just like, I hate God. And I'm very close with God and in religion, but it's things like this. It's like, why certain people? Why can't you have given it to somebody that was just a horrible person? Why does it have to be the person that I'm closest to? Why is God doing this? Like, God is punishing me in a way for something, because I do believe in karma. So in a way, I'm blaming myself, blaming God. And I know I shouldn't be doing that. But it's like I already feel like I'm grieving before I've lost her. And I don't know how to get out of that mindset. I think I'm going to get in with a therapist. I've been calling around, I think just with surgery and then now this and other things. I need to get in with one to prioritize certain things and try to handle this the best way I can for me and my kids. But it's not going to be easy. And I know it's not going to be easy. I know once she's gone, that's going to be the hardest thing in my life that I've went through. I'm used to talking to her every day. And then all of a sudden, it can be just taken away at any time. I can't go to her house right now. Every time I see her, I break down, and I don't want her to know. She doesn't know that she has dementia, because we don't want to scare her. But I don't want her to see me break down, because then it's going to put 2 and 2 together to her. So it's just not been easy. I'll probably have some healthcare workers come on here and say, well, dementia is not a death sentence. But I've also worked in the nursing home. I was a CNA for a little while. While I know dementia is not a death sentence, it makes life a lot harder, and she's already got a ton of health issues. And there's going to be a day that she's going to be gone. And even before that day, she's not going to remember who I am, who my kids are. because she's already slowly forgetting long-term things and she's only in the early stage of dementia. So yeah, but anyways, back to the timeline. I found all that out Saturday evening, and I was kid-free. Nick still had Mason, and I broke down. I got in the car, and it was storming outside. I got in the car, and I left the house. I couldn't sit in this house. My mind was going 90 to nothing. I need to do this, and I need to do this, all while trying to process this. And I was going to pick up Mason Sunday. And so I called him, and I was like, I was just verifying that I was going to pick him up Sunday. We verified the time because it's always different. We don't really go by a schedule, just what works for us and our timeline and what we have going on. And like I said, I had just went on that date Saturday, early Saturday. And when I called him, he heard it in my voice. And Nick's been going through things. He's been going through therapy for his anger, because that was a lot of our big issues. And he just, when I called him, he could hear it in my voice. He knew, even though we've been split for over a year, as soon as I called him, he knew something was wrong. And he was the first one to say, come home, come home. So I got in the car, and I went, and I stayed. I just came home today. And as soon as I got there, he just hugged me and didn't let me go for hours. And it meant a lot. Because at the end, in our relationship, we weren't in that place. We couldn't even look at each other without fighting. And so, he's been, like I said, been getting help for his anger. And I could tell. It was just the way he saw me hurting, and he hurt for me. And it made me miss. It made me realize that I still love him. And so we started talking about possibly getting back together. It's not going to be anytime soon. We're going to try and work on our relationship. But I'm going to stay here. He's going to stay in his house, and we're going to date. We're just going to date. And we'll see where it goes from there. We have a lot of conversations. We've got a lot of things we need to talk about to make sure we both don't get back to the place we were. If this is going to work, I want to try and get my family back together if I can in any way, but not if I'm unhappy. So mentally, I want to try and work things out, but mentally, I cannot do it right now, and physically, I can't do it right now. But it was just the point that he had never done that for me before. He saw me. He knew in my voice on the phone. We've been split for over a year. I'm dating somebody. And he could have said, screw you. You're seeing somebody else. But he heard it in my voice, and he said, come home. At my weakest moment, he said, come home. So I don't know if this was like my breaking point and God trying to tell me to go home, or if it was my weakness and I just crumbled. So it's a lot that I need to process and figure out. It's not going to be easy. I'm going to continue vlogging and filming. I may seem down some days. It's just the part of life that I'm going to have to get used to and eventually accept and become okay with. And that's it's not going to be easy. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. I don't know at this point what's going to happen with my relationship. I don't know what's going to happen with Nick at this point. I have not mentally had time to think about it or even contemplate what's even going on. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.